Welcome to a New Beginning podcast. I'm your host, Maureen Doyle. I'm a certified life coach, author, and coffee enthusiast. Did you know that at any moment you can create a new beginning in your health, relationships, career, or mindset? Each week, I will share simple strategies to transform your life and create new beginnings. Ready to start yours? Let's dive in. Hello, everyone. Today, we're going to talk about worrying and how to stop it. We all worry. We all worry from time to time, but then some of us do it more than others. And so what I want to share with you today is why we worry and how to break free from it. One of the definitions that I came across for worry was allowing one's mind to dwell on difficulty or troubles. What I think is interesting in that definition is the word allow, allowing one's mind. It's suggesting that we have control over worry. But I can tell you, many folks don't think that we have that control. They think that it's out of their control, that it just happens, and also that it is necessary. I believe that it is completely within our control as to whether or not we worry, and also that worrying is unnecessary. I have yet to find where worrying has influenced an outcome. Now, I do believe that we should spend time in preparing for a situation. You can prepare for it, but not moving into worry. So let's first talk about why we worry. Why does our brain naturally go to worry and possibly even spin in it? Our primitive brain, the part of us that is designed for survival, is always on high alert, looking for potential problems. And that's a great thing, except when we give it free rein to spin out in worst case scenario thinking and worry. We have between 60 and 75,000 thoughts a day. And the majority of our thoughts are fear-based that will lead to worry and anxiety. So what can we do about it? Step one is to become the watcher of your mind. What are the thoughts that are circulating in your mind? Take out a sheet of paper and write them down. This is different than journaling. Journaling is more directed by the writer. What I'm talking about is purely noticing the thoughts that are in your mind, the sentences, and writing them down. The simple exercise of doing this can be so helpful because when we see the thoughts on paper, we might be able to recognize that they're not even relevant, they're not helpful, and at many times, they're not even true. Today, I want to share with you an exercise that can really help when you find yourself in a worry cycle. This is a tool that was first introduced to me in my coaching education by Martha Beck and later by Brooke Castillo of the Life Coach School, and it is foundational. It is something that I have practiced over and over again in training, and it's something that I bring to every coaching call. And it's something that I do daily. It is that powerful. So first, I want to share with you how I use this tool when I first began my coaching business, when I was stuck in worry and anxiety. And I will break down the 5 steps for you. When I started my coaching business, I quite often would wake up feeling anxious. And I knew that I needed to do something about this. And then I used this tool. The tool is called the Self-Coaching Model. And what I did was I started with my feeling, the feeling of anxiety, which I really didn't want to carry with me throughout my day. So then I asked myself, what are the thoughts that are causing this anxiety? Because our thoughts create our feelings. That is the direction that it flows. So when I asked myself, what are the thoughts that are causing this anxiety? I waited. And soon the thoughts started to show up, and they went something like this. What are you doing? Why did you quit your job, which had a steady paycheck, to do this? You're going to go broke. You have no idea what you're doing. This is just crazy. Now, all of those thoughts were creating a feeling of anxiety. How could they not? Next, the next step is our feelings will determine our actions or inactions. So I thought about this and knew that if I continued to entertain those thoughts, then I would end up going back to bed or lying on the couch or eating a bag of cookies or playing around on the computer, researching, acting busy, but not really doing anything. And then all of those actions and inactions would ultimately create the result that I didn't want. I was going to fail. I was going to go broke. What I just did was go through the 5 steps of the model. And this sequence holds true for any circumstance you have in your life. The circumstance that I had for that particular model was simply my coaching business. But you can put anything into the circumstance line. You could put in my divorce. You could put in the weather. You can put in my mother-in-law. Circumstances are just facts. They are the past, or they could be what someone said. Just the facts, no adverbs, no adjectives. And these circumstances will trigger thoughts. The thoughts that it triggered with me were, you're just crazy. What are you doing? You're going to fail. You're going to go broke. These thoughts caused a feeling. A feeling is just one word, and it is a vibration in your body. And the feeling that those thoughts caused with me were anxiety. And then we take action or inaction from a feeling. Remember, when I was feeling anxiety, I could begin to worry. Worry is actually an action. I could also do the research, lie on the couch, watch TV, dream up worst case scenarios, and then just worry more and more. And then from these actions and inactions, we then create our results in life. So the circumstance in our life creates thoughts, which create feelings that influence our actions and inactions, and ultimately will give us our results in life. The premise is that all of our pain and suffering and worry is not caused by the circumstances in our life, but rather by our thinking. And that is great news, because we can't always control the circumstances in our life, but we can control our thinking. So back to my example, I knew that if I didn't change my thinking, I wasn't going to get much done or much accomplished that day. I was just going to spin out in worry. Whenever I want to change my thinking and feeling and actions, I find that the best place to start is that feeling line. That day I asked myself, how do I want to feel? Instead of feeling anxious, perhaps I'd want to feel more determined or even more confident. And then I need to find out what thoughts would create that feeling. Because remember, our thoughts create our feelings. Some of the thoughts that I came up with were, I can do this. Others have done it. They're no better than I am. When I set my mind on doing something, I can get it done. So I sat with those thoughts, and then I would breathe them into my body, Move them from my head down into my body. And then from there, I knew that I could start to work. I would come up with a game plan for the day, and I would replace worry with intentional action. And then, of course, ultimately, I would start to get better results. So when you are doing this in your own models, keep working to find thoughts that you can believe. Try them on and see how they feel. Can you believe them? When you find a thought that feels believable, then practice it. Practice it until it becomes your default thinking. I call this mental rehearsal. Because here's the thing, you are always practicing thoughts. Remember, we have between 60 and 75,000 a day. You're always practicing a lot of repetitive thoughts, and chances are many of those thoughts are not empowering. So if you're always practicing thoughts, make sure that the ones that you're practicing are great ones. So try this out for yourself, and if you have a question, sign up for a free call with me, and I will walk through your model with you. And the link for the free call is in the show notes. Because this takes practice, but I promise you it is a worthy practice. When you understand that everything in your life can be examined in this framework, and that you can change up how you feel and what you think, and what you can create in your life, it is so powerful. It's like the keys to the universe. Practice it this week and reach out to me if you have any questions. Have a great week, my friends. Talk to you next week. If you enjoyed this podcast, check out my free workbook, 6 Secrets to Getting Anything That You Want. Head over to maureen-doyle.com/6secretsguide to pick up your free copy today.